All right, guys, another race winner video. Here's the race winner of the NSR Western Championship. Ian's here again on video to talk a little bit about his car. There's nothing much to talk about this car because this car is very straightforward. The rules were based on the WRE 24 hours race, so we have specific parts for the car. And but let's talk about the preparation and how it took. How Ian did this fantastic car, track record, unbeatable. Congratulations, Ian. Incredible weekend. Pole position, all race wins, all heat wins, semi-final win, and then a blastering lap, like 2/10 faster than everybody else. So we might find out some secrets. We might disqualify Ian here. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So again...
nervous laugh.
So again, we have just like it finished the race. He finished on yellow. Let's take the sticker out. This car is not signed. Somebody's calling me. Okay, let me finish this. All right, come back to Ian. All right, so this car was not signed. I don't know. He was not here to make friends this time. But let's go for this. So okay, so we have this beautiful again livery from West Boys that they call their team. Ian has been racing this livery for a long time now. It's a Mosler. It's a NSR Mosler GT Evo 5. I will explain the difference in a bit. He's using some sort of it was mandatory to use hubcaps. So he's using the Formula 1 13 wheel here, and he's using some sort of a GT hubcap in front, probably from a Porsche. So right away you can see that he has the Mika Hakkinen helmet. I don't know if you can see from there. I believe those are from Interlagos Miniatures, right? So
only the best.
Only the best. So he has the Mika Hakkinen Racing West livery. I can see that he didn't put the mirrors on. The mirrors were not mandatory, so he was saving some time and weight there. On the bottom of the car, you have the white chassis, which I believe is one of the best options for the track. It's a little bit more rigid than the original black one, and on top of that, you have the green one, but the green one seems not to be a good option because the green is too rigid and the plastic is too, how can I say, too brittle, yeah. And then it breaks sometimes. So the white one is the option. He's also using the red pod that comes with the car. So this is an Evo 5 car. The difference between the Evo 5 and the Evo 3 is that the Evo 5 has the triangular pod, and the Evo 3 you have the skinny, tiny pod. I don't know which one is faster. It's just two options that NSR offers to us. Of course, Evo 5 seems to be more modern because it's a higher number. But again, I don't know which one is faster. We choose to go with the Evo 5 because the Evo 3 does not have the front wheels ride height option. So we choose to go with this guy here. So basically, he's using the original pod from his white kit here. So right away, you can see that also he's using two of the PMTR 1800 or 1801, which was not mandatory, but the only ballast that you can use for this race. He also has some slotted, I think, brass screws around the pod. Are those slotted or slotting plus? I think it's slotted, right?
It's the same as the
National
Group C, where I use the slotted screws in the back and the NSR in the front.
NSR in the front. Okay, so NSR is the big one, and Chew is slotted in the back. And here he's using some screws from Slotting Plus to hold the body. And again, the body is floating. He has a lot of movement here, even more than on his Group C car. The front seems to be a little higher than the back. Here in the back, you do have the 0.8. I remember attacking his car and it was very close. So you should, on this car, you should have 1 millimeter behind the axle, and the gear was clear. So we were not taking a part of the gear, because if you have 1 millimeter tires, the gear will be clear. That's a change that we made. Also suggestions from Todd when he was figuring out the gears. When he was trying his car, he found a problem in the rule where we will not clear the 0.8 standard. So let's take out the body screws here and check it out to see if he was cheating. Everybody believes so, so let's do it. Now's the time. I can have a guy in your door in 35 minutes to pick up the trophies back. So just let you know.
Whatever you want.
We know his address. So
this is going to be the most disappointing race winner video yet. It's going to be exactly as the rules state.
I forgot to weight the car, so let's weight the car here. Let me see, it's zeroed. Let me put the car here, and let me put the screws. We can't forget the screws. Screws are heavy, man. 3 screws. Okay, 1, 2. So the car sits at 75. Oh fuck. Okay, hold on. 75.9, I think. 75.9. Yes. So each screw is 0.2 grams. 75.9, and we have a minimum weight for 16.4 on the body. So let's see the body here. The body was right there, 16.5. So he was on the limit for the body. As I can see, the body is complete. 16.4 he signs here, which was the limit. The body is complete. You have this little hole that all the Moslers Evo 5 have. So yeah, the body is pretty nice done. And it's intact. You didn't crash the whole race. Come on.
Twice. I
Crashed twice? Okay.
But I'm also, if you see the lane sticker also didn't take the paint off this time. So I took your advice. Oh, yeah. I've been working on it.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So here's the chassis. So the chassis is pretty cool because he also painted a little bit. Oh, Ian's done. Let me find out. Let me call him again. So here's the car. So it's pretty cool because he has this little pink, orange, west orange paint around the car. That seems very nice when you see the car from the outside. As the Mosler, it is a car that the body sits over the chassis. So he did this detail around the chassis to make his livery even more bright and cool. Here's for the car. So again, that was a very strict class. You have to buy 3 motors. You can buy up to 3 motors. They come from the same batch from NSR. They're numbered and they're sealed. So you can race one of the 3 motors that you can buy, and you cannot share. You cannot give to, I have a better car, you can give to your friend. No, you have to have your own car. So here you have the NSR wires that were mandatory. You have the gearing, came with a 14 pinion, and you have to use the 31 or the 32, and I believe that you were using the 31, right? Which
yes,
was
sir.
The red one, which is an odd choice for me because I feel that those cars were not geared perfectly. I was always, every time that I drove somebody's car, it was missing brake, and you choose to go with that. So okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit.
They didn't have a lot of brake, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it had just enough. I had my brakes all the way on maximum.
Yeah, all the race. Yeah, every single car that I try, I just put the brake to maximum. And why did you decide to do with the 31 and not with the 32?
Just to get a little bit more top speed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that was a good choice. And you need to use solid NSR axles. The bushing is glued here, as you can see. Just a little piece of CA glue or maybe a E6000.
E7000.
E6. Okay. And then here there was a big debate because you couldn't. This pod does not come with the hole to make your pod to hold your motor. So as you can see here, Ian made his own roll, but he also glued the motor in. There's pieces of glue here. And I can check there is a little angle here. Like a 5-degree angle, maybe a 10-degree. Did you notice that, or was that on purpose? I remember that back in time when you were racing brass chassis, we do a little angle to try to get more torque out of it. But I don't know if that was an intention here. No?
I don't recall on that car, but it could be that the motor that my screw is a little wonky.
Maybe the hole that you made on the pod was a little higher, but you can see
it was tough drilling that hole.
I know.
It was nerve-wracking.
I know. I can see there is a little bump here, which is fine the way that he positioned the motor. And in the past, I remember people doing this, trying to get more torque out of it, but it was never like 100% true. So I was wondering if that's something that you try here, but apparently not. So here on the front, in front of the motor, we have these 2 spaces to put the weights, and those are the weights that you are allowed to put it. So you have the PMTR 1800 and the PMTR 1801, which is half of it. So he used two, but he didn't use the whole ballast that he could use. On the pod movement, as you can see, the front one is almost screwed in. So there's no movement here in front, but there's a lot of movement sideways, and there's no movement up and down. So he's locking in this guy, and just have a little bit on the sides. Very curious the way that he put the front bushing. And I don't know if you're looking at this, but you remember that putting the bushing sideways.
Absolutely, I remember. Yeah.
Okay, so
To limit the side to side.
To limit the side. That's very curious. This is the first time that I see this. So the bushing should be here on this slot, and he cut it a piece and just put it on the sides. So we have less and less movement here in front of the motor pod. Pretty cool. So the wheels are the 2632, I believe that's the number. I don't remember the number, but the wheels were also mandatory. It should be the F1 13 millimeter wheels, the wide ones. And if you're noticing the weird yellow tire, those are the yellow tires that we made with NSR for this race. So those are spec tires. The reason that we did this is that because back on the slotted nationals, one of the biggest complaints were that people didn't have time to try different tire setups, because the weekend is very short. And as long as we have people coming from all around the country for those big races, I wanted to make a spec tire so it would be easier for everyone to try different cuts. And it's unlimited. They are cheap. They're $40 a pair, so you can have as many as you wanted, just to try different setups. And then when you get here to the track, you have those tires already cut to the size, and you don't have to worry about trying different compounds. So this is a way to make the race a little bit more democratic. And I think it's a big thing for those big races for us. Like on the Scale Auto Festival, you also have to race the G25 gray ones. So everybody runs that. You have more time to practice. You have more time to figure out other stuff in your car. And the tires, they're the same for everyone. So those are why they're yellow, because Electric Dream's yellow. And you can spot from a mile away. And everybody races the same. And I hope nobody tries to copy, trying to do a different compound, because it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be like insanity. So coming to the fronts, what kind of tires are you using in the fronts?
They are the, I forget what the part number is, but they're the NSR Zero Grip. I think they are I think they're the stock ones, to be actually totally honest with you. So, I don't think they're super thin ones. I think they're the one step above. Yeah,
just a little try through it. And I can notice that you didn't do the 90 degrees here as you have on the slotted. You just do rounded corners. Did you try the 90 degrees, or did you went for the round corners for another reason? Is there an explanation about it?
So the NSR Zero Grips are a lot stickier than the slotted ones. So I was trying to make the front end a lot more compliant, just not having so much front grip.
Very, very nice. And here you see a lot of movement on the front pod. I noticed that some of your cars, and even Todd's car that came here for these videos, they have almost no movement. Is that something that you also tried, or you came like this and work and that was the way to go?
I'm not really sure if there's a real difference between them being tight side to side or loose. I know Rick's car from the Slotted Nationals last year was very loose, and he said that was why he won. So I was like, I have to do that. But jokes aside, I don't know if there's one that's better or not. I just wanted to make sure that it doesn't bind up in there.
But that's something that you definitely need to try to see. And it's something very easy to do. You can just have an Allen wrench at the track and just try to see if the car responds in a different way. And as you can see, the wheels are touching. There's no movement here there's sideways movement. There's no wobbling around here, a little bit, but almost nothing. And one thing that it always caught my eye is that the guide is not planted. So you have like almost 1 millimeter between the guide and the flat of the track, flat of the slot. So is that something that you also try? You try to put different spacers to make the guide posted there, or you think that's the way you should set up your cars?
So I've tried different things. The thing about the Moslers here that we found out is that the front of the chassis here.
Oh, he has a chassis.
I got a chassis right here. The front of the chassis would point down. And so what we did was we put a little shim underneath the front of the chassis when we were flattening it. and it ended up also raising the guide. So it's not intentional in that it's up, but it's a byproduct of the front of the chassis not being drooped.
Okay. Yeah, here I can see your hits in the usage of the car, because if you touch the left side of the chassis, every single tire is planted. But if you touch the right one, you have some sort of a movement around. So it's probably not the way that you started the race. That's the way that you finished the race. And
they were really difficult to flatten. I mean, I think I did 8 times on that chassis before I finally figured it out. So it's probably not perfect.
But I don't know if the camera can capture this, but it's very straight up. The car is near perfection. Very cool, Ian. Very cool. So you also using hollow axles around. There's people solid axles around, mandatory.
Solid axles.
Yeah, let's see if I have to take the trophy. Okay, so solid axles. There were people complaining about to me that people use spacers in front or even spacers as bushings. Again, if you're watching this video and if you have this kind of complaint, don't let me know 2 weeks after the race. Let me know on the time. And then we confront whoever is trying to cheat, because the rules are super clear. Right now, I don't have the cars. I don't have how to talk to people. But if you see something like that, just let me know, and I'm gonna. They don't need to know that you were the snitch. I will go there and talk to them. It's kind of stuff that passed me on during tech inspection, and I really don't want to know 3 weeks later people complain about that. Just let me know if it's happening. It's happening. Ian, thank you very much. It's a great car. As I told you, I try on the track. I couldn't beat your time. I have my excuses.
Too many rentals out there.
Yeah, it was raining. I don't know.
It was raining.
It was raining. But it's a spectacular car. It's just like just goes for it. You can't find the limit. You just go for it until you crash, and then you find the limit. But other than that, it's very, very nice. You can abuse it. It's one of the. It's not the fastest class you race, the Formula One, the NSR Formula One, and the LMP, of course. But without the neodymium magnets, the Formula One is still a little bit faster. But this is a fantastic car. It was a lot of joy to race, a lot of joy to see you racing. And if you want to see Ian's performance, just go for our YouTube, and you're going to have the full... Yeah, just click on the link. There's no link. But just search over there, the NSR Nationals. We did a great broadcast with a lot of cameras and graphics and showing the whole... And even Craig Williamson and Mark Natividad are commenting it. So it's a very cool race to watch it. If you didn't watch online, just search on YouTube. You're going to find this car performing, and it's pretty cool. Ian, thank you very much for the time. I know it's a Tuesday. You're in the middle of the work. But it was cool to have. What's work? But it was.
Block cars is everything.
Yes, it was very cool to have you here around, and I promise that one day I'll return your car, maybe not, but yeah, one day you see the cars back.
Hopefully.
All right. See you soon, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.